Ever feel like you're doing all the right things and still wondering why your body feels off? You eat well, you train hard, your labs say you're fine, but deep down you know something's slipping. You're not alone and you're not crazy. I'm Daniel Rasmussen, founder of Epalon Center for Longevity, and I've spent 2 decades helping high performers like you to reverse aging, reignite vitality, and finally get answers. On Unbreakable Vitality, we go upstream. We talk peptides, stem cells, precision diagnostic testing, reversing the age of your arteries, all the innovative science-based tools to take back your health span so that your next decades are your best yet. Because aging is real, but decline is optional. Welcome back to Unbreakable Vitality. This is the first in our new peptide mini-series where we'll be spotlighting new individual peptides that are making big waves in longevity, performance, and age reversal. Today's molecule, we're going to be talking about Epitalon, also known as epithalamine, Epitalon. There's a lot of different pronunciations, but it's a peptide, nonetheless, that is very compelling. So much so that some researchers are calling it the closest thing to a fountain of youth that we've seen so far, anyway. Now, quick reminder, if you want to experience how we use peptides, like in this real world protocols for age reversal and disease prevention, please check out our upcoming monthly live Ageless Future Longevity Summits in Seattle. Visit agelessfutureseattle.com to apply and attend. My team will be happy to help you out. Now, let's dig into Epitalon. So what is it? Epitalon is a synthetic tetrapeptide made up of 4 amino acids, ALA, GLU, ASP, and GLY. It was developed interestingly in Russia by Professor Vladimir Kovinson in the 1980s. So this goes back a long ways. And during his work with the St. Petersburg Institute of Bioregulation and Gerontology, it was originally derived from pineal gland extracts, and Epitalon was created to mimic the effects of epithalamine, which is a natural peptide secreted by the pineal gland in the brain. And so this gland, the pineal gland, is responsible for regulating your circadian rhythms, melatonin production, and aging signals in the brain. What the researchers noticed was that with age, the pineal gland starts producing less and less of this peptide. By restoring it via Epitalon, they observed increased Telomerase activity, lengthened telomeres in somatic cells, improved melatonin secretion, better sleep cycles, enhanced DNA repair mechanisms, and more. In essence, Epitalon appears to signal the body to, hey, let's stay younger longer. So how does it actually work? Well, it primarily exerts its effect by upregulating telomerase. Telomerase is the enzyme responsible for maintaining and rebuilding the telomeres at the ends of your chromosomes. Telomeres are like little biological fuses. When they get too short, the cell stops dividing or just dies. So by preserving these telomeres, Epitalon helps the cells stay in a youthful, replicative state for much longer. It's a key factor in slowing the aging process down and preventing chronic disease. In an interesting clinical trials and some animal studies, Epitalon has been shown to extend the lifespan of mice and rats by 20 to 40%. It restores youthful melatonin rhythms in the elderly. It reduces cancer incidence and increases resistance to tumor growth. It also improves markers of oxidative stress and mitochondrial health, supports retinal function and degenerative eye diseases. I had one of our clients, after doing 2 rounds of Epitalon, his doctor brought his prescription eyeglasses back to his old prescription magnification because his new one was too strong. His eyes actually improved quite a bit. The other thing with Epitalon is very interesting is it improves markers of oxidative stress on blood work, on biomarkers, blood biomarkers, and it improves mitochondrial health. It supports some of these human studies out of Russia showed that Epitalon reduced mortality rates in the elderly populations by almost 2 times over 6 to 12 years when used consistently. And that's not a typo. That's a potential doubling of longevity outcomes. It's an incredible, powerful signaling agent. Now, I get asked all the time by our clients with the Ageless Future operating system that, Epitalon is most often administered via subcutaneous injection. That's the best way. Using a small insulin syringe, the standard dosing protocol typically, not always, looks like around 10 milligrams daily divided into 2 doses of 5 milligrams, maybe 5 milligrams in the morning and then in the evening, 10 to 20 day cycle, maybe 2 times a year, maybe 3 times a year, ideally spaced every 4 to 6 months. We typically recommend using Epitalon during seasonal changes, particularly spring and fall, when the circadian rhythm is the most vulnerable to those disruptions. It's also really ideally paired with some kind of mitochondrial support, such as NAD+, CoQ10, or even MOTS-C peptide. Now, we use Epitalon also where there's sleep issues. So when we need to optimize sleep, the cognitive peptide stack for brain rejuvenation, we always personalize these recommendations based on diagnostic data. The more data, the better. And including the hormone levels, looking at your cortisol rhythm, looking at your genetic markers, your true age, your sleep quality scores, and your mitochondrial markers, as well as your chronological age versus your biological age. Now, there's a huge difference between a peptide. So peptides can be, sourced on the black market and on the retail, but they're dangerous. Let's talk about where you get these peptides, because there is a huge difference between a peptide from a 503A or a 503B compounding pharmacy versus black market vial online from a sketchy research-only website. The risks of using uncertified peptides include contamination, which could be bacterial or endotoxin presence, could be improper amino acid sequencing. You could be overdosing or underdosing due to lacking of purity control. And there's no sterility verification. There could be unknown additives or stabilizers. A lot of these compounds are sourced from China. They may look identical under a microscope, but inside your body, they could be triggering immune reactivity, organ stress, or worse. At Ageless Future here in Seattle, every peptide protocol is sourced from compliant pharmacy-grade labs, matched to your diagnostics, personalized peptide stacks and protocols over a year's length of time, supported by clinical coaching and follow-up testing, because longevity isn't about saving a few bucks on a gray market peptide. It's about giving your cells the safest, the smartest path to rejuvenation. Even though Epitalon is incredible, it isn't magic, but it's one of the most well-researched and anti-aging peptides we've seen yet. And when it's used correctly, it can be a powerful accelerator for biological youth. If you want to learn more about how we integrate peptides like Epitalon into our concierge age reversal programs, come to the next Ageless Future Longevity Summit in Seattle. Go to agelessfutureseattle.com and apply. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next peptide spotlight, because there's going to be a string of them, and I'm excited to share them with you. So what I'm going to talk about next week is the deep fat busting metabolism enhancing powerhouse called 5-amino-1-MQ. We'll see you soon.
If you're feeling like your energy, your edge, or your clarity just isn't what it used to be, you're not alone. But you're also not stuck. Every week on Unbreakable Vitality, we explore real strategies to reverse aging, reclaim vitality, and rewrite what's possible. If today's episode gave you even one insight, pass it on. Then go take the free vascular age quiz at epsilon-longevity.com/quiz to see how your body's aging. Subscribe, leave a review, and follow us because your future isn't on autopilot. You are building it and you're just getting started.